Bushville Black here, and welcome to the Skulls General Reviews number 15. Right then, so let us begin the Skulls General Reviews episode 15 by taking a look at this recently released Doctor Who book, In the Blood, by Jenny C. Colgan. So if we take a look at the front cover, we have set against this very good background. We have BBC Doctor Who, They Feed on Your Anger, They Need Your Despair, In the Blood, Jenny C. Colgan, and the background itself, we have the 10th Doctor and Donna, these sort of blood veins, these kind of cracks and kind of wispy white stuff. Then we've got here icy mountains and some more ice and kind of computer codes in the background. And this cover has a lot of nice subtleties to it and stuff like that. It's like you've got the actual computer coding in the background, and then you've got In the Blood in this kind of electronic kind of circuit text, if you can pick that up. Hopefully you get that. And for the spine itself, we have Jenny C. Colgan, Doctor Who, picture of the TARDIS, In the Blood, BBC book, set against this kind of dark blue background. Then on the back there we've got a quote from this book: "So many people out there, Doctor, wanting so many things, wanting, terrible things they want, terrible things, and they get so cross, so angry, so frustrated when they don't get what they want." And then we've got the kind of same cover layout in the background with as on the cover. For the back of this book, we have more of the kind of ice and more of the blood veins, more of the computer coding, and a TARDIS, with a TARDIS kind of coming out over it all. And I must admit, this is a pretty poor choice for Photoshop to create this cover. Oh, this is a pretty bad Photoshop choice, because you can clearly tell that this has obviously been photoshopped directly, with pretty much no care at all with the overall outcome from series 4 episode 13, Journey's End, because you've got that kind of heat haze, or the heat haze of the crucible kind of glowing around the TARDIS, and the TARDIS overall is a bit red, and especially on the kind of lamp up there. So you can definitely tell that this was a Photoshop job, which isn't that good, but still it's good enough, I guess. And down there you've got the barcode, fiction, www.penguin.co.uk, a FSC logo, and then for the innards we have the blurb, Trip-Trapped Trolls, Donna read. That's not a very nice headline. They keep finding dead people who were prominent on the internet, and the papers seem to think it's funny. When internet trolls start to drop dead, the Doctor thinks there might be more to it than just a sedentary lifestyle and high blood pressure. From the back streets of South Korea to the jungles of Brazil, the Doctor and Donna follow the leads until they find the source of this online infection. But they aren't the only ones interested in these sudden deaths at the computer screen, or what's causing them. Before long, the Doctor and Donna are fighting for their lives, and the lives of everyone else on planet Earth who uses the internet, including people very dear to Donna. This novel features the 10th Doctor and Donna novel as played by David Tennant and Catherine Tate. Then they've got the prices. In the UK it's $12.99, in the US it's $18.99, and in Canada it's $24.99. Then you've got some nice blue kind of card pages. Doctor Who, In the Blood, Doctor in the Blood, Jenny C. Colgan, BBC Books, various copyright guff, and then you've got the actual start of the book at page 5. And this book overall is a 330 page long Doctor Who book, spread over 63 chapters. And then there at the back you've got your acknowledgements, then all those little blue pages, and a bit about Jenny C. Colgan. Now, what is the general consensus and my own personal thoughts and opinions on In the Blood by Jenny C. Colgan? From early reviews of this book, it generally seems to be very positive overall. The only review there was on Goodreads gave it 3 stars. But on Amazon, this book has gotten rave reviews, which I am extremely pleased and happy to see that this Doctor Who book has gotten. It's got it's got 3 5-star reviews and 1 4-star review, and to be honest, I couldn't agree more. This, in my opinion, is quite the triumph of a new series hardback, in my personal opinion. So starting off with the characters, I'm only going to go through the main characters, but anyways, for the main characters, the 10th Doctor was extremely well characterised in this Doctor Who book, and you can easily see this book being a Series 4 episode, or a 10th Doctor, or a Series 4 episode, because you can definitely tell with the characterisation that this would fits right into the 4th series, or the 4th series of the revived series of Doctor Who. The characterisation is just there. The 10th Doctor, he just feels like the 10th Doctor. I can easily imagine David Tennant putting on this role as the Doctor. Same with Catherine Tate as Donna, who've just got all of the kind of character details and kind of character and inflections embedded in the kind of characters in this book. So you can, in the main characters being the 10th Doctor and Donna, you can just see easily that Jenny C. Colgan has done her research and added in and done all of the kind of character implements and details extremely well. For instance, you've got the 10th Doctor's kind of ahas and all of his kind of unique characteristics like that. With regards to Donna, in all honesty, she was a bit of a bitch in this book at some points in time. Don't quote me on this, but from what I remember, she was a little bit of a bitch in Series 4, to be honest. But still, in this book, she was a tiny bit of a bitch, I guess, but then again, that could be her actual kind of character overall, a kind of a bitchy Doctor Who companion, but don't quote me on that because I haven't seen much or any Series 4 episodes in quite a while, coming on to a year, to be honest. But yeah, Donna was a bit of a bitch in this book at some points in time, but she was still a really good, still very well characterised in this Doctor Who book for the most part. In some places, or in particular in one place, she did kind of have, unfortunately, the intelligence level of Dodo in The Celestial Toymaker, and if you know what I'm talking about, that is pretty bad. But in the kind of situation she was in, it was kind of a bit of a disastrous situation. In other words, a plane crash. So I'm assuming that it was just like down to panic and stuff, that she was just being a little stupid, because I mean, when you're like, I don't say this from experience, but I'm assuming whenever you're in like some sort of vehicular crash or something like that, your brain just starts to panic and you just start to not think straight in those kind of situations. But Donna still was a really good character in this book, or Donna was very well characterised in this Doctor Who book, and I could easily picture Catherine Tate slipping into the role of Donna in this book. For the other main characters, we have Fief, spelt F-I-E-F, which is a weird spelling, but Fief was a really good character overall, and there's his spelling right there, F-I-E-F. Let me see, just focus, just about to see it, just roughly where my thumb is right there. Hopefully that's focused on YouTube. But Fief overall was a really good character. He was given a overall arc in this book, which was very pleasant to see. You can see him grow and evolve and come from this kind of sinister sort of bad guy kind of character working for his greater good, or working for what is in his mind the greater good, and just kind of evolve into this companion really. And his overall character arc is utterly fantastic, and just the characterization of Thief alone is what makes, and his evolution throughout the book is what makes his dramatic departure at the end of this Doctor Who book all the more poignant and potent. For the main kind of villain of this story, Gully. Gully was an extremely interesting character overall, and overall a really good villain. Basically, it's like a massive alien octopus, I think, that could easily just like regrow his tentacles whenever it's like cut off. So in other words, a bit like the 10th Doctor regrowing his hand in the Christmas Invasion. So Gully overall was a extremely good villain for the book, and so he was just overall a really good villain for the book and a very interesting character. Now onto the kind of main kind of alien threat that Gully is utilising, and that is, forgotten its name, the Rempaths. That's it. The Rempaths are an extremely interesting kind of concept for an alien threat in this Doctor Who book. The basic gist of how the Rempaths actually attack someone is basically they travel over the internet, and whenever you're using the internet and you get a little pissy at something and a bit angry when you start to kind of scream and shout, they start to infect your bloodstream, and eventually they just make you non-stop angry and just swearing all the time. There is literally images, there's even an image in this Doctor Who book of like an entire hospital ward just full of people just screaming and swearing and kicking and lashing out and stuff, just that were infected by the Rempaths, and eventually at a point during your infection by the Rempaths, you would feel this kind of icy hand around your heart, and that's when the Rempaths will kill you. And it's a very kind of disguised death in a way, because it will just look like that the person that was infected with the Rempaths just got a case of schizophrenia and then had a heart attack. So the Rempaths overall are a very interesting and unique concept overall for the book, and are a really good alien threat for this Doctor Who book overall. Anything else I have to say on In the Blood? Yes. The general kind of concept and premise of this Doctor Who book overall is utterly fantastic, because nowadays we depend quite heavily on our internet, and yeah, we depend quite heavily on our internet and our social media sites overall. So there just being an infection on the internet waiting to kill you is just a scary and frightening thought, and what makes this book all the more gripping and compelling in my opinion. Another kind of part to this Doctor Who book that I really liked overall was the kind of the chaptering to this Doctor Who book. The chapters in this Doctor Who book, just in case you couldn't tell from the kind of 63 chapter number, or chapter total, there is quite a few short chapters in this Doctor Who book, and most of the chapters, and all of the chapters are very punchy, and help to engage the reader, because is pretty much like a small action scene in every chapter. It's absolutely fantastic, and some of the chapters are so short, to the point where even chapter 23 is literally one sentence long. This in retrospect was a terrible mistake. So as chapters even as short as this, a single chapter long, is crazy how short some of the chapters is, but it just helps you to keep engaged with the Doctor Who book overall, and just kind of compels you all the more to read this Doctor Who book overall. And because this Doctor Who book was so compelling, I utterly demolished this Doctor Who book in 4 days. I took only 4 days to read this 333 page long Doctor Who book. I started reading it on the day that I unboxed this book, and I finished it last night, and to be honest, it's not even been a week after this book's release. It was literally released only 5 days ago, the time I'm recording this, and the time you'll be seeing it, I think. So yeah, In the Blood, very good kind of chaptering and stuff overall, as you clearly saw with page 23, and each chapter just feels like a small action scene, and it overall is just utterly brilliant, the chaptering, and just keeps the reader all the more engaged. Any problems that I have with In the Blood? No spoilers, but one problem that I did have with this Doctor Who book is that at one point in the book, Donna manages to save the life of somebody from the REM paths. I'm not going to say who or how this happens or anything like that, because that'd be spoilers, but how she saved this person from the REM paths is never explained in the Doctor Who book, which is very bizarre, and it's just kind of left hanging and has no kind of overall conclusion to that plot thread, and it's just left unanswered really. But other than that, in my opinion, Doctor Who In the Blood by Jenny T. Colgan is quite a triumph of original new series fiction. Quite frankly, I was scared for this Doctor Who book, because last year the BBC released what in my opinion is the worst Doctor Who book I have ever read. Quite frankly, I was scared for this Doctor Who book, because The Dawson's Curse in my opinion is such a bad Doctor Who book. Everything in it completely fails in my opinion, just because the structuring and the writing is so completely awful in my opinion. And honestly, The Dawson's Curse gets a 0 out of 10 from me. Absolutely nothing about The Dawson's Curse works. It's utterly horrendous. So if the BBC were willing to release Doctor Who books such as that to the public for public consumption, I was quite frankly pretty bloody scared for how this Doctor Who book would turn out overall. But I was pleasantly surprised, and I got in the end I got a Doctor Who book that I voraciously tore through in 4 days. That was just absolutely fantastic in my personal opinion. So what would I do in terms of a rating, so what would I give In the Blood in terms of a rating? Overall, In the Blood, I think this book deserves a solid 9, maybe a 9.5, but as of now I'm thinking of sticking to a 9 out of 10 for this Doctor Who book. I really think that this is a great Doctor Who book overall, and in my opinion it is one that you should most definitely check out in my personal opinion. Anyway, so like, favorite, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed the Sculpture General Reviews number 15, In the Blood. So yeah, like, favorite, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Pitch Skull Black, dematerializing.